Vasilis Bourikas, aka DJ Golden Feta, is no stranger to Agape Greek Radio, and one of Greek Toronto's favorite DJs joins us to chat about upcoming events, new music, and much more. Hi.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. So you recently announced the return of Feta Fest, a 3-day yacht party that will be happening in September. Before we talk about what's happening, tell us about the inspiration and how the idea for this event came about.
Oh wow, yeah, for sure. So I mean, it goes back a couple of years, to 2019, and essentially it was about June, I think. And I had started DJing quite often. It was almost an every week thing. And I want to do something of my own. I saw all these, there was Veld and all these kind of cool festivals that were happening. And I did this one party that was in a crazy backyard like lot that was like acres big. And I go, this kind of gives that festival vibe that it went like, I think until 4 a.m. I go, we got to do something cool. And I pitched it to a couple of my friends, and I almost had like, that's a little crazy, a little too much, until the perfect friend came along and was like, I'm in. We got to be unique, stand out, and let's do it on a boat. And with my friend Panayoti, we planned the first one. It was very, let's do it and see what happens. In 2019, came up with the name Feta Fest on branding, of course.
Yeah.
And we did in 2019 with a big success rate. And the plan was to keep it going every year, but obviously the last couple of years. And then this year we said we're going to do it bigger and better. So that was the inspiration and story.
No, it's amazing. So what can people expect from this year's Feta Fest?
From this year's Feta Fest, I think that people can expect that more so with their age groups, the type of music will be more catered towards them. So club night will be obviously your typical kind of club classic experience, bangers, summer hits, dancing, vibing. Retro night's going to be really cool for the 30 plus crowd, where it's going to be 80s, 90s, Gino beats Madonna, like all the good old stuff that people enjoy. And then the youth cruise will be, of course, a lot of Greek dancing, because we got a lot of the Greek dance groups, the Greek schools coming out. And so more catered experience.
That sounds so much fun. We're really looking forward to it.
Thank you both. Thank you, guys.
And you also have a new song coming out on March 24 called Sifte Deli.
That's right.
And you're mixing different genres and sounds for this song. So what was the creative process like?
So last year, I was in Greece for the longest I've ever been. And I go, the rap stuff is really cool. It's really nice. I'm into it, but it's not, you can't dance to it. And there was a period in the mid 2015 era where there was a lot more dance music. And I saw a couple artists, but it wasn't picking up yet, trying to incorporate that dance into the rap. And then it happened. So when I came back in September, I found this beat online, and it's very difficult. I'm very picky with what beats I use. And I go, this is perfect. It was a Greek producer who had made a beat called Tsifteteli. And I go, it's a rap Tsifteteli type beat. I go, how can we make this more? And basically got together with a bouzouki player from Toronto, Nick from Sismos, another Greek singer, Michalitsa, and together we made this dance rap mashup track. Yeah.
That sounds awesome. And you also have a music video coming out for it as well.
That's right. That will be, date's not announced yet for that. The audio is March 24th, but the video will be sometime early April, before Pascha.
How do you feel like when you're making music?
I feel funny because yeah, no, for real, because my voice, I don't think is nothing special. It was also, I wasn't ever from young, oh, I want to become a singer, I want to become a DJ, I want to become a rapper, whatever. It was something that very fell into place, and like almost a passion developed. And I just got more and more into it. Then I go, people are really listening to my voice, and I find it like shocking almost. But it makes me full of gratitude. You know what I mean? That people actually enjoy what I do, and I actually like the sound of my voice, I hope. And
yeah,
I don't know, it feels funny. Oh, yellow.
So Billy, you have been making music since 2015, started DJing in 2016.
Correct.
Tell us about how you got your career started, because from what I understand, it kind of happened by accident, right?
Yeah, kind of like a puzzle that you didn't know you were assembling. Pieces started falling together. Knowing the right people who were supportive of me as a person, first of all, before even as a DJ or an artist or whatever. Being surrounded by good friends who just, I was volunteering for this Greek event, and my friend was on the council, and he goes, Vasily, they need a DJ. You like music, you should do it. Okay, sure. Someone thought I was doing a good job, asked me to do a house party. I was shocked. I was like, sure, I'll email you my packages. No packages. I didn't have nothing ready. But I had a name because of a high school project, Golden Feta. So I was like, okay, so there's some branding going on. Let's see where it goes. And that thing started piece by piece from one party, word of mouth. Then after a year or two, someone goes to me, start taking this more seriously. Even though a lot of people were not to, a few really supportive people said, you know what, like, give this some effort. And I did, and things just started falling into place.
That's awesome. And I love that story.
Thank you very much.
And, Billy, you've achieved so much in such a small amount of time, and you've been able to connect with people like all around the world through your music. What's the one thing that you've learned when creating your brand?
That is a great question. I think it's that anything that I put out there into the world, it will be seen and it will affect actually multiple people. It's not here. I thought I was doing this for me. These YouTube mixes were so I could press play on when I was studying or doing homework, so I could have an hour of music. But now it's like, okay, now I know that this girl in Australia is going to be listening. This guy in London, England, my friend in the Choryo is waiting for my new mix. A guy just sent me a message 2 weeks ago, Vasily, when's the next one coming out? Like, we've listened to all the other ones. So I think it really taught me that, your actions have not consequences in a bad way, but, they will have, there's a before and after, the cause and effect. There's you affect other people with what you put out into the world. And I think that if you can make it a positive impact, that's always the goal, right?
Yeah, and you definitely do that.
Thank you.
So how do you hope Greek Toronto grows as a creative hub for our generation?
How do I hope it grows?
Yeah.
I hope that people get influenced to really experiment and try out new things and really follow their passions. I think that as a very successful community in general, from the immigrant generation to the first ones born here to the grandchildren, like my generation, I think as a community, we've been relatively quite successful. And I think that there's been often this, there's one straight path, one road, σπουδάζεις, σχολείο, δουλειά, whatever. And not against that in any sense. But I think on the side of that, doesn't mean don't take these passion projects, don't try them out, don't host your own radio show, don't, host an event, a party, you know what I mean? I think that I hope more people are inspired to, try things out and see where they go. I didn't expect to be a DJ. My homies did not expect me to become a DJ. But it's been one of the most like gratifying things of my life, and a big chunk of who I am.
And you never know until you try, right?
100%.
Yeah.
If you don't give it at least a try, you'll never know what can come out of it.
Yeah. And I like what you said there too, because I think it's really important, especially for our generation as well, to build on those foundations that were set for us beforehand and to create spaces to show our passion for Greek culture and uphold it through our different talents as well, right?
For sure. I mean, like we said, there's obviously a mix of different generations here. But as the generations proceed and the Toronto community hopefully gets stronger and stronger, that's going to take more and more effort though, by us, the individuals. And I think what you guys do, I think hopefully what I'm doing and what many others are doing in their own aspects with their own talents, I think really cement and add on to that foundation that was already built, and hopefully leads at least a path to keep it going for a little bit longer,
Yeah, absolutely. So Billy, before we wrap up this interview, we thought it'd be fun to ask some quick fire questions.
Sure.
You ready?
Yeah.
So the first one, who is your favorite Greek singer από τους παλιούς?
Από τους παλιούς, Mitropanos. 100%. Yeah.
And from now, from today?
It was Pantelidis, obviously. Yeah, Pantelidis from the modern guys.
Nice. And do you have any pre-show rituals?
Pre-show rituals. I'm very nervous pre any event. It's mostly just picking up a coffee from my favorite cafe Barcode. Yeah.
This does lead me to my next question though, because you post a lot of Greek coffee stories. I see them almost every day.
Hey, almost every day is accurate. Yeah.
So how many do you have a day?
Not many a day.
Really?
Maximum 2. Maximum.
Oh.
Yeah, I just let everyone know every time I'm having one. So it's more than the average person, but no, maximum day. Yeah.
And if you were to collaborate with any musician or any creative in the music industry, who would it be and why?
Okay, I'm gonna give you one Xeno artist and one Greek artist. My Xeno artist would be Pitbull because he's I've like imagine him as like the Spanish version of what I'm trying to do, you know, mix of languages and energy, and you know, he's got his own style and uniqueness. And then from Greek singers, probably someone like Saliki or something. I don't know how our styles would mash up, but he's got the energy, right? So
yeah,
probably.
Nice. And what is one Greek dish that you can't live without?
It's classic. It's classic, but souvlaki. Like I can never say no. Any time of day. Yeah.
Well, Billy, as always, it was so great chatting with you. Thank you so much for taking out the time to do this.
Like, thank you.
Thank you. And be sure to head over to social to keep up with what Billy's doing.